Hello friends, how are you? Now we are dealing with the last part of the autocoids. Various small autocoidal substances like angiotensin, bradykinin, substance P, nitric oxide, these combined together we will see in this chapter. So the learning outcomes of these particular presentation is that upon completion of these sessions, the learner will be able to define and describe the source and synthesis metabolism of these different type of autocoids, principally which includes the angiotensin, kinin, endothelins, nitric oxide, vasoactive intestinal peptides, then substance P, neuropeptide Y, etc. So these are the different kind of autocoids which we are going to study in this presentation. Now next to it will differentiate different type of receptors of angiotensin, then explain the physiological roles and the pathological roles of these autocoids. Then we will try to explain the mechanism of actions of various drugs which are acting as an agonist and antagonist in above receptors. So very first autocoid from this category is the angiotensin, which is also called as a AT over here as a short form. So it is one of the potent vasopressor agent. We already seen these angiotensin in many times previously, but as an autocoid we will highlight over here. It is also known as angiotensin 2, which is an octapeptide. Renin is the from the kidney of the juxtamedullary apparatus it is secreted. Then this renin converts the angiotensin 1 to angiotensinogen to angiotensin 1. Then this angiotensin 1 is converted to angiotensin 2 with the action of angiotensin converting enzyme. So this we have many times we have in the cardiovascular system and all other places we have already seen this. So net result of renin secretion is that it produces the vasoconstriction and the sodium retention. So the overall effect of this renin release will be maintenance of the tissue perfusion and extracellular fluid volume regulation. These are the main effect of this angiotensin. So it regulates the water and electrolyte balance of our body. Blood pressure and cardiac functions are regulated within the by the action of angiotensins. Then how this renin release is regulated in our body. So it is reduced afferent and arterial pressure also stimulate the renin release. Sympathetic nerve stimulates the beta cells in the juxtamedullary cells. Then macula densa, which is present near the juxtamedullary cells, sense that there is an amount of sodium chloride fluctuation, and this may lead to the renin release, and this renin result ultimately lead to the conversion of angiotensinogen to A1, and then is by the action of ACE to the angiotensin 2, which is a vasoconstrictor substance. Then prostaglandin E2 and I2 also stimulates the renin release. We have already seen this action of the prostaglandin from the prostaglandin in the previous presentation. Reduction in afferent artery pressure decreases the glomerular filtration rate. That is afferent arterial pressure, if it is reduced, that is different due to the difference between afferent and efferent artery diameter. There is a creation of a pressure, and if that pressure is decreased, then there is a decrease in GFR, and due to that the reduction in sodium chloride amount will be there, and this also act as a stimulant for the renin release. So this angiotensin 2 inhibits the renin release by a feedback mechanism. So release of angiotensin 2, when an excess amount of angiotensin 2 is accumulated, it also inhibit the release of renin. Vasodilators like hydralazine, minoxidil, nitroprusside or beta antagonist also stimulate the release of renin. Next to it is angiotensinogen and angiotensin 1 and 2. What is this? These three means. So angiotensinogen is the plasma glycoprotein which is abundantly present in plasma, but as such it does not have any kind of action unless and until it is converted to angiotensin 1. So it is synthesized in liver and having the molecular weight of around 57,000, converted to angiotensin 1. When there is a release of renin converts this angiotensin no gene to angiotensin 1. Then production is decreased by the corticosteroid, estrogen and thyroid hormone. These are the some drugs or hormones which are which are decreasing the amount of angiotensinogen production into the liver. Angiotensin 1 is biologically active. Angiotensin gene, as such, it is a amino acid, a glycoprotein which is present in abundantly in the plasma, but does not have any kind of action. Angiotensin, when this angiotensin gene is converted to angiotensin 1, it is biologically active. Then this angiotensin 1 is converted to angiotensin 2 by the enzyme, converting enzyme. Already we have seen this is angiotensin 2 is more potent than angiotensin 1. Angiotensin is 2 is almost all 4 times more potent than 1. There are two types of receptor for this action of this angiotensin 1 and angiotensin 2, that is AT1 and AT2. These are the receptor through which these angiotensins are giving their actions. These all the angiotensin 1 and angiotensin 2 receptors are G protein coupled receptor which are present on the surface of plasma membrane. Most of these actions of these angiotensins are mediated by the AT1 receptor, angiotensin 1 receptor. Then angiotensin 2 receptors are nitric oxide depletant. They inhibit the cell growth and fetal development, fetal tissue development also inhibited by these AT2 receptors by the action of this AT2. Now actions of angiotensin 2. Angiotensin 2 is a potent than angiotensin 1. We have already seen. So it is a potent vasoconstrictor, 40 times more potent than of a noradrenaline, more potent than noradrenaline, around 40 times more potent it is than as far as the vasoconstriction action is concerned. So whenever it is given by intravenous route of administration, this blood pressure rise within a few seconds. So more potent, and within a fraction of seconds they are giving the effect. So angiotensin 2 uh, constrict the precapillary arteries and postcapillary venules also. Precapillary arteries also and postcapillary veins. So it act on capillaries, arteries as well as the vein. Enhances the peripheral noradrenaline transmission and facilitate the noradrenaline release. So this angiotensin also facilitate the noradrenaline release. Facilitate release of catecholamines from the adrenal medulla. From the adrenal medulla, the catecholamines will be more released due to the action of angiotensins. As far as the endothelial dysfunction action is concerned, with the atherosclerosis plug, ACE expressions and angiotensin 2 contents are increased in the coronary artery. When there is a atherosclerotic plug is found inside the arteries, then it is found out that ACE expression, angiotensin converting enzyme expression, and angiotensin 2 content, they are both are increased. So increased amount, we can directly draw the conclusion here that ACE expression, more expression amount more found, or AT angiotensin 2 content, if it is increased, may lead to the atherosclerosis plug, or it is increased at that time. Angiotensin 2 also produces the primary produced by primarily by the tissues which are bound to the ACE with the within the coronary plug. So tissues which are associated with the coronary plug formations are also produced by the produce the angiotensin 2 and ACE. Then as far as this effect of this angiotensin 2 on a cardiac hypertrophy is concerned, effectiveness of this ACE inhibitor is attenuated in the cardiac remolding after the myocardial infarctions. So ACE inhibition is attenuated during the myocardial infarctions. Remolding process involves the direct and indirect action of angiotensin 2. Angiotensins to also stimulate the migration, proliferation, hypertrophy of cardiac myocytes. Cardiac myocytes, they are the cells which are primarily secreted, stimulate the migrations due to the angiotensin 2. It also increases the cardiac workload. So these are the effect of this angiotensin 2 on the cardiac hypertrophy. As far as kidney is concerned, angiotensin 2 increases the sodium chloride carbonate reabsorption by stimulating the sodium and hydrogen exchange. Angiotensin 2 stimulates the zona granulosa of the adrenal cortex. There is increased synthesis and release of aldosterone, retention of sodium and water due to the angiotensin 2. The effect of this angiotensin 2 on the CNS includes the stimulated water drinking capability of the person. The person is feeling thirsty during the angiotensin 2. There is increased secretion of vasopressin, that is ADH we are knowing, and ACTH. These are the action on the CNS. Then there is one pathway, renin, angiotensin, aldosterone. We already known. If we inhibit this pathway, what will happen? So alkescharine is the renin inhibitor. Uh, it is a non-peptide, low molecular weight, orally active substance, aliskiren. Then it produces dose-dependent reduction in the plasma renin activity. Dose-dependent reduction in the blood pressure is also found over there, and has a favorable safety and tolerability profile similar to that of angiotensin antagonist. These are the not much clinically useful substance as such. Then AC inhibitor we have already seen whenever we have seen these AC inhibitor in the cardiovascular system. So what are their applications? So, related some to the autocoid we will see here. They act by they act uh, preferably by converting the angiotensin 1 to angiotensin 2. So conversion of this angiotensin 1 to angiotensin 2 is inhibited by ACE inhibitors. These are the enzyme. ACE is the enzyme which is necessary for conversion of angiotensin 1 to 2, and this blocker of these drugs prevent this enzyme, and conversion of angiotensin 1 to angiotensin 2 will be inhibited. So angiotensin 2, which is more potent, will be inhibited synthesis. So decrease the circulating angiotensin 2 and aldosterone. Circulating angiotensin 2 and aldosterone level will be significantly dropped down. So ACE nullifies all the actions mediated by AC2, ACEI. मतलब angiotensin converting enzymes, they nullify the actions of angiotensin 2, but angiotensin 1 is also active over there. So as far as it is concerned, up to a certain extent it can be reduced down. So angiotensin 1 will be available over there and it may exert its action, but definitely angiotensin 2 is more potent than that of angiotensin 1. So in much of the degree the ACE inhibitor will be giving their actions. So useful in clinical conditions like hypertension or congestive heart failure. Captopril is active, unchanged drug. It can be given, whereas enalapril and ramiprils are the esters and they are prodrugs. They have to be converted into active form and converted to in the plasma to the active metabolite. So it also inhibits the degradation of substances like bradykinin and substance P. So ACE inhibitors also block the degradation of these substances. Next is a AT receptor inhibitor, drugs which are working on angiotensin receptor, and by that blocking that receptor they act in some clinical conditions. So AT1 inhibitors are losartan and valsartan. So AT1 that is angiotensin 1 receptor inhibitors are more having the more pronounced clinical application than that of AT2. They inhibit the angiotensin 2 at the AT receptor. They block the AT receptor, AT1 receptor, and prevent the action of AT2. So as compared to the ACEI, that is angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitor, the AT antagonist show the more complete inhibitions, because AC angiotensin converting enzyme is not only the enzyme which is responsible for conversion of angiotensin 1 to angiotensin 2. So generally due to that, a few degree of angiotensin 2 may be formed, or even the angiotensin 1 itself is giving their actions. So complete blockade of action we will not found whenever we are giving the angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors, whereas whenever we are giving the angiotensin receptor inhibitors we will found a more complete inhibition. So it antagonizes antagonists have no effect on bradykinin metabolism. Angiotensin receptor antagonist does not have any effect on bradykinin metabolites. Both the angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitor and angiotensin antagonist drugs increases the renin release as a compensatory mechanism. There is a feedback compensatory mechanism. When one is decreasing, another will increase. So angiotensin effect is decreased due to ACE inhibitor or angiotensin receptor, and due to that the due to the feedback mechanism, and renin secretion will be enhanced. Then AT1 antagonist is an approved treatment for the hypertension and heart failure. These are the antagonists which are we are known that losartan and valsartan. They are the famous drugs nowadays in the management of the hypertension as well as heart failure. Combinations, they can be given in a combination ACEI, that is angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitor, or angiotensin antagonist drug have been given in combination, have a great potential. So there is no chance that you will be blocking the receptor as well as you will be blocking the synthetic pathway. So by both mechanism it will work, and due to that it will have a very potential capability to reduce the morbidity and mortality in the treatment of heart failure. Next biological substance that is autocoid we will see is the kinins. It is a pro-nociception inflammatory mediator. It increases the nociception, noxious stimuli will be increased, and it is an inflammatory mediator actually, kinin. It is liberated in the conditions like tissue damage, allergic reaction, viral infections. These are the conditions where it will be released. They are the potent vasodilator peptides, and they are formed formation of kinin. This is the way by which this kinins will be synthesized. So plasma pre-kallikrein is the converted to plasma kallikrein by Hangman's factor. Then this plasma kallikrein facilitate the conversion of kininogens to bradykinins. So human bradykinins are broken down into the three main kinins, that is ACE, aminopeptides, and carboxypeptides. So these are about the kinins. Next about is bradykinin receptor. What are the different type of receptor? They are B1 and B2 receptors are there. So the actions are mediated by these B1 receptor and B2 receptor. B1 is expressed in the tissue injury. Whenever B1 actions we are expecting, it is given mainly expressed in the condition where there is a tissue injury. Whereas B2 plays an important role in chronic pain. So whenever there is a chronic pain, B2 receptor plays an important role. B1 receptor are limited in their actions, whereas B2 receptor are widely distributed throughout our body. Both the B1 and B2 receptor, they are belonging to the G protein coupled family, and these B2 receptor mediated actions are, most of these actions will be by the bradykinin effect on the B2 receptor. Then what are the roles of these kinins in our body? What are the roles and actions of these kinins in our body? As far as CVS is concerned, these potent endothelial dependent vasodilator, they are. Kinins are a potent endothelial dependent vasodilator. Vascular beds of the heart, kidney, intestine, skeletal muscles and liver, they will be acting. They will act on the bed, vascular bed of the heart, kidney, intestine, and they produces vasodilation over there. These actions are mediated by release of nitric oxide into the endothelial. They releases the nitric oxide in the endothelial cell, and by that way they induces the vasodilation. These actions causes the contractions of the vein and mediated by prostaglandins. So if we give these kinins by intravenous injection, they produces a brief hypotension reversed by the reflex increase in the heart rate and contractility and cardiac output. By reflex action by the heart rate, contractility and cardiac output, that can be reversed whenever we give the injection of kinins, which is producing the brief hypotension, and reversed by this reflex action. So arterial dilation it produces and increases the capillary permeability, and this arterial vasodilation, which is leading to the increased capillary permeability, produces the leakage of the fluid. Okay, next to it is the inflammation. It is a potent pro-inflammatory mediator responsible for the pain, local tenderness and heat generations. Then what are the actions of these kinins on the endocrine and exocrine gland? These kinins are almost present in almost all the exocrine glands. These kinins are present. They are released over there, and they are secreted by these all exocrine glands. They have their physiological role as such is not known significantly, but it is proposed that they regulate the gastric motility and modulate the tone of the pancreatic and salivary duct. They also influence the transepithelial transport of water, electrolytes, glucose and amino acids. So transfer of glucose, water and electrolytes, amino acids, they will be influenced by the action of the endocrine on the epithelial. Then as far as the sensory nerve and the action of this kinins on the sensory nerve ending is concerned, these are the potent nociceptive substances. They induces the pain The potency of these kinins to induce the pain is very high. When injected locally, they produces the intense pain, and nociceptive action is similar to that of histamine. So as the histamine is producing the nociception, similar to that of the kinin also produces the nociception. So whenever these kinins are giving along with the ACE inhibitor, that is angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitor, they produces the dry cough that is also produced. Next autocoid is endothelin. So endothelin is around 21 amino acid peptide widely distributed in the body. So various forms of endothelins are found in your body like ET1, ET2, ET3 and ET4. These are the four forms of the endothelins which are found. This main source of this endothelins is vascular bed, and these are the biologically active substances. They produces a vasodilation as that of prostaglandin and nitric oxide, and vasodilator action is counteracted by the endothelial actions. So endothelial produces vasoconstriction actions, whereas the prostaglandin and nitric oxides produces the vasodilation. So these two autocoids keep the balance in between the vascular tone. Endothelial causes vasoconstriction, prostaglandin and nitric oxide produces the vasodilation. So they are having the opposite action to each other. So ET1, that is endothelial 1, is synthesized in endothelium and converting enzyme from the propreendothelium. Propreendothelium is the potent vasoconstrictor activated in the hypertension, atherosclerosis, heart failure, renal failure. In these conditions, this endothelial enzymes are secreted, and preproendothelial is converted into active form of it. So this endothelial one plays a major role in functional and structural changes in the arteries, pulmonary hypertension, act through G protein coupled receptor. Endothelial ones, they will act through the G protein coupled receptor. Then endothelial 2 is produced predominantly in the kidney, and endothelial 3 is found in higher concentration in the brain. So these are the locations where the E2 and E3 will be present. So endothelial 1 causes a rapid and transient decrease in arterial pressure, severely and transient decrease in arterial. They stimulate the production of the cytokinins and stimulating growth factors. The action is blocked by endothelial converting enzyme. Endothelial converting enzyme blockade. If then we will get the blockade of endothelial actions. Next is the nitric oxide. This is another we can say CNS neurotransmitter also, or it is also a gaseous substance. We can say we also found the reference for this in the CVS disorder also, and it is also acting as an autocoid over here. It is a vasoactive peptide opposing the action of endothelial. Normal vascular tone is maintained by these two opposite actions of the endothelials and the nitric oxide. It is also known as endothelial derived factor, relaxing factor, or vasodilator factor. They are also a gas which is gaseous form it is, and widely distributed, having the actions on biomolecules in our whole of the body. It is also playing a critical role in controlling the vascular tone, platelet aggregation, and it act by activating the guanine cyclase. It also activates the calcium dependent potassium channel, and potassium channel opening causes the hyperpolarization, and due to that vascular smooth muscles are relaxed and we are getting the vasodilation actions by the nitric oxide. The next autocoid which we are saying here is vasoactive intestinal peptide. It is 21 amino acid polypeptide, structurally related to the serotonin and glucagon. Structurally, the vasoactive intestinal peptides are not serotonin, secretin and glucagon. Widely distributed in many areas of the bodies like gut, pancreas, kidney, lungs. Sorry, I'm here. It is the lungs, not the lungs, thyroid glands, etc. It is also found in the CNS as a neurotransmitter and neuromodulator. The intestinal peptide act by G protein coupled receptor, so induces the gastric GIT smooth muscle relaxation. It produces smooth muscle relaxation, stimulate the secretion of water into the pancreas and pancreatic juice and bile, inhibit the gastric acid secretions. These are the effect of this vasoactive intestinal peptides. found in hypothalamus and suprachiasmatic nuclei, act as a time-keeping mechanism, mainly the regulation of dark and light cycle. These are mainly controlled by or act for this mechanism as a this autocoid which is working. It regulates the prolactin secretion and potent vasodilator, good for the coronary vasodilator over here. Next neurotransmitter is a substance P, or it is also called as a neurotransmitter responsible for pain. P for pain over here. We can remember it as. It is a neuropeptide, short chain 11 amino acid polypeptide. Act as a neurotransmitter in the CNS. In the CNS, it is present in a dorsal horn of the spinal cord. Act as an afferent neurotransmitter from the sensory fiber. Potentiate the excitatory and inhibitory input in the spinal nociception. For the excitatory and inhibitory nociception from the spinal neurons are potentiated by the substance P. It is play a very important role in the neurogenic inflammation. Neurogenic inflammation, it is one of the mediator over there. Edema occurs as a result of sensory neuropeptide, various neuropeptides were released whenever there is an edema, and one of the major important substance amongst them is the substance P. So substance P is also playing a very important role in behaviors like anxiety, depression, vomiting, arterial vasodilation, etc. They act by mediating via the various G protein coupled receptor, that is NK1, NK2 and NK3. These actions of substance P will be mediated by these receptor, and all these receptor are G protein coupled receptor. And the next one is neuropeptide Y, a 36 amino acid peptide found in a CNS as well as a PNS, peripheral nervous system, as well as central nervous system. In the sympathetic nervous system, it is found in the noradrenergic neuron, noradrenergic neuron of sympathetic fiber. This neuropeptide is found. Function as a co-transmitter along with the noradrenaline. Along with noradrenaline, it is a function as a co-neurotransmitter. So other effects include vasoconstriction of cerebral blood vessels, like that of noradrenaline. It produces the vasoconstriction, causes the positive chronotropic and positive ionotropic effect in the heart, and produces the hypertension. So if you see these actions, they are very similar to that of noradrenaline. Neuropeptide Y produces very similar, and it is also co-transmitter of noradrenaline. We have already seen. So positive chronotropic effect, positive ionotropic effect, production of hypertension, vasoconstriction. These are all effect of the noradrenaline, similar to that of neuropeptides. It also plays a physiological role in the brain, regulate the energy balance, memory and learning capability. Also plays an important role in epilepsy. There is an increase in food intake whenever there is a overstimulation of neuropeptide. Decreases physiological activity, promote energy storage as a fat. So these are the action of neuropeptide. So this is what all about the small autocoids which are present in our body, other than the large autocoids like histamines and all these things, histamine, serotonin. These are the small autocoids which are present and playing an important role in our body. So thank you very much, boys and girls. If you have any kind of a difficulties, here are my contact details. Thank you very much.